Welcome back to Go With Us, and this is everything you really need to know this week in Pokemon Go, running from the 13th of July all the way until the 20th, including the Pikachu celebration event. Let's get straight into our calendar now. We've got quite a busy week ahead, but before we get into any events, let's look at everything happening on Monday, and I'm going to kick off with our Max Monday, which is a huge one, and our debut of Dynamax Dino, which of course can go into D-Max Hydreigon. But how good is D-Max Hydreigon? Well, if we have a look at its base stats very quickly, it has a max CP of over 4,000 at 4098, an attack value of 256. Stop there. We can already tell that this is going to be a very good D-Max attacker, one of the better we've seen in some time. Its defense is sitting at 188 and a stamina of 211. If we just want to look at this Pokemon as a Dragon type attacker very quickly, it's just breaking into the top 50 only because it has access to Dragon Pulse, but as a Dark type attacker with Brutal Swing, which of course is its Community Day move, it will become the 12th best Dark type attacker in the game. But as a Dynamax Pokemon, D-Max Hydreigon is even better. If we have a look at why this Pokemon is so good, look at its fast attacks. It gets access to Bite as well as Dragon Breath. This is a Dark and Dragon type moveset, but the great thing about both of them is that they are half a second fast moves. If you didn't know, half a second fast moves always work best when it comes to Dynamax attacking because it charges that Dynamax meter a lot quicker. Once it is charged, you could then switch to an attacking Pokemon to perform more damage. What this moveset is going to do is that it's going to make this Pokemon the second best Dark type attacker in the game, and it's going to be one of the better Dragon type attackers in the game right now, because with Dragon Breath, and if we have a look at its base attack stat, it is higher than something like D-Max Charizard, for example. So only something like Eternatus and maybe D-Max Latios might be better, but this Pokemon is going to perform very well still. Also, if you want to take this one step further, this Pokemon in the Master League is very underrated. It's currently sitting around the top 65, which is still very impressive. The other thing why this Max Monday is very important is, remember, every single in-person Max battle you do, you will get a guaranteed rare XL candy upon completion, which means you could do 5 to 10 of these and get 10 rare XLs for absolutely free. Also on Monday, remember, you will get access to those Adventure Sync rewards. If you walk 25 or 50 kilometers, you will get access to a 5 kilometer or a 10 kilometer egg. These are going to be the Pokemon hatching in that 5 kilometer Adventure Sync pool: Budew, Chingling, Sableye, Tyrogue, and Happiny. And the 10 kilometer Adventure Sync pool, we can see Druddigon, Toxel, Bagon, Drampaw, and Gibble. As we move on to our 5-star raid bosses, D-Max Hydreigon just told me right now that 60 to 70% of the people watching this video have not subscribed. Yeah, and he's right. Please hit that subscribe button. It's going to make everyone's life a lot easier. What are going to be the raid bosses this week following GoFest? It looks like on Monday and Tuesday is going to be featuring those Cantonian birds. So we can see Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos. Moltres right now is still the 9th best flying type attacker in the game, and that's going to be with the move Fly. As a fire type attacker, it's just breaking into the top 30. If we look at Zapdos as an electric type attacker, it's still sitting in the 17th spot, so definitely worth getting there. As a flying type, it's sitting in the 27th, but it's actually in the Master League out of all these birds where this Pokemon performs best. It normally breaks into the top 100, so it can be a really good spice pick. And last, but probably definitely least, we can see Articuno in there. Unfortunately, Articuno's stats doesn't really favor it. It's not a good flying type attacker. It's not a good ice type attacker. However, the shiny of Articuno is absolutely beautiful. All of these birds are going to come with a 1 in 20 shiny rate. You're only going to have the first 2 days of the week to raid them. Then coming in on the 15th all the way until the 21st, we are going to see Kyogre come back to 5-star raids. We've just seen a few of them in GoFest Global, potentially with that background on Road of Legends as well. But Kyogre going into its primal form, I strongly believe they're bringing it back to raids for more than one reason. There could even potentially be a primal raid day that could return at some point. This is the Pokemon you want to get a hundo for, because Primal Kyogre, when it's reverted with Origin Pulse, which will require an Elite Charge CM, it becomes the best water type attacker in the game, and it's one of the best TDOs in the game, which means it's incredibly bulky. In fact, just a quick story, last night I attempted to remote raid a Primal Kyogre, and to be honest, we failed the battle with 6 people. That is how bulky this Pokemon is. You definitely want to be getting a hundo. In the Master League as well, Kyogre has stood the test of time. It's always breaking into the top 20, again, just simply because that bulk is on its side. Please consider getting that hundo Kyogre. What mega raids are going down this week? Well, in the first 2 days of the week, just like it was for the Cantonian birds, Mega Lucario will be returning on the 13th and 14th. This is unmissable. If you do not have Mega Lucario energy, please get it, because Mega Lucario is currently the best fighting type Pokemon in the game. We do know, and there have been a lot of whispers through time with Legends ZA, that Mega Lucario Z will be coming at some point. So while you can get the energy for this Mega Lucario, make sure you do that so you can stack the energy, but also you can get a high IV of this particular Mega Lucario. Then on the 15th though, we have Mega Sceptile making its return. It wasn't so long ago that we saw this Pokemon, but again, I think this Pokemon is coming back for certain reasons that may be coming near in the future. We don't know what those are yet, but let me tell you, Mega Sceptile is unmissable as well. It is the best grass type attacker in the game. Even as a dragon type attacker, it's just breaking outside of the top 20 with breaking swipe because of that dragon typing, and to be honest, this is definitely one of the better megas in the game. You definitely need to get the energy for it. Mega raids out of the way. What is going to be our 5-star Shadow raid boss, and for the rest of the month, it's going to be Shadowpalkia. To be honest, Dialga and Palkia in their Shadow forms are tremendously good. Let's have a look at these base stats very quickly. A max CP of 4512, an attack value of 280, which is really good, especially as a Shadow, because remember, Shadow Pokemon get 20% boost on their attack, but the trade-off is that their defense gets dropped by 20%. Its defense is 215 and its stamina is 189. As a water type attacker, it's breaking into the top 15. And as a dragon type attacker, it's also breaking into the top 12, making this one of the best raid attacking Pokemon in the game, in the Master League as well. It's currently hovering around the top 15 spot as well. So to be honest, as an all-rounder, Shadowpalkia is definitely worth raiding. That will be coming with the 1 in 20 shiny rate. We actually got it on our Go With Us account the other day. Please remember though, it's not the easiest Pokemon to take down. I would strongly recommend at least 2 to 4 trainers. You are going to need Purified Gems. Remember, at 60 to 70% of its health, it will become enraged. You would then need to use 8 Purified Gems to take away that enraged state, or you can just power through if you do have the top counters. Once that enraged state disappears, it will be much easier to defeat. Just before we get to the events of this week, let's touch on that research breakthrough box, which will be happening for the entirety of the season. Please remember, this is coming from your 7th day stamp. Once you get your 7th day stamp, you will then get rewarded a research breakthrough box with some premium items, some XP, but you will then get a reward Pokemon. Those Pokemon are going to be Dragonite, that Hundo CP is going to be 1625, Axew's in there at 586, Honedge is in there at 595, Jangmo-O is in there at 415, Indeedee male and Indeedee female are in there respectively at 1027 and 1047 for the Hundos, and we also have Cloth in there at 1030. Cloth is the only one there that cannot be shiny, but I think its shiny will be released later in the season. Back to our calendar again, and before we move on from Monday, we have the first event of the week that we're going to cover fully in this video, and that's going to be the Pikachu celebration event. This is actually going to be broken up into 3 different sections for 3 different celebrations. The first celebration is going to be taking place from the 13th to the 15th from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. The second one will be from the 15th to the 18th from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then again from the 18th to the 20th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. How these celebrations are going to work is that different costume Pikachus are going to be spawning either in raids, in field research, or in the wild during those 3 different sections, because there's so many different costume Pikachu in Pokemon Go right now that they have to split it up. But a very, very important feature of this event, especially following GoFest, is going to be the Go Pass. Let me explain why. On the free track of the Go Pass, we can get the following rewards. We can see encounters with more costume Pikachu. We can get more than 150,000 XP as a reward. We're gonna get lucky eggs, golden raspberries, and some more premium items. But if you purchase the deluxe version of the Go Pass, you will get more encounters with costume Pikachu. You're gonna get more than 350,000 XP. You're going to get lucky eggs, silver pineapple berries, including encounters with Popstar Pikachu and Rockstar Pikachu. You can purchase the deluxe version of this Go Pass for $5. But the rewards aren't the big part, it's the bonuses. Listen to this very carefully. So at tier 1, which is going to be at rank 10 of this Go Pass, we can get 2 times catch candy for transferring Pokemon, including more chance to get XL candy when transferring Pokemon. But if you have the Go Pass Deluxe as well, you're going to get an even greater of getting XL candy when you transfer Pokemon. This is massive. Throughout the course of the Road of Legends event, including GoFest weekend, you probably have a lot of things you want to trade and transfer. Hold off and only transfer these Pokemon during this event. Once you reach tier 2, which is going to be rank 20 on that Go Pass, it's then going to be 2 times Stardust for catching Pokemon as well. And if you have the deluxe, it's going to be 3 times catch Stardust. Guys, to be honest, this is one of the better, if not the best Go Pass we've seen in some time, and they've placed it perfectly right after GoFest. The other event bonus that's not necessarily connected to this Go Pass is that Pikachu in the wild will have a lower base catch rate, because generally Pikachu are pretty hard to catch. During this event, it's going to be a lot easier. What are some of these Pikachu spawning in the wild? Well, it looks like we can see for sure, we can see regular Pikachu, we can see the Trick and Treats costume Pikachu, we can see the Winter Carnival outfit Pikachu, we can see the Summer Flare Pikachu, and a whole lot more. We are going to have featured 1-star raids featuring Pikachu as well. We can see Dapper Pikachu with the red, yellow, and blue accents. We can see Pikachu wearing the safari hat, the varsity jacket, Pikachu wearing the amethyst crown. We can see the World Champs 2022, 2023, and 2024 Pikachu as well. If you're looking for Pikachu candy and electric type candy this week, please remember to Mega Evolve a Mega Level 3 electric type Pokemon in the background. Every single Pikachu you catch, you're going to be getting 3 candy. If you Pineapple that Pikachu, it's going to be 6 candy. With a Mega Level 3 Pokemon in the background, it's going to be 8 candy. And remember, at Mega Level 3, you pretty much get more chance at XL candy as well. It's literally the perfect time to grind this alongside some platinum medals that you need to look at during this event. The first one is going to be that Rocker medal, which requires you to catch 2,500 electric types. Remember, if you do achieve the platinum status, you'll pretty much get a +4 base catch rate bonus for the electric type, which you can see on screen right now. That's just going to make every other electric Pokemon a little bit easier to catch, and that includes legendary Pokemon, by the way. The next big one, to be honest, that you have to complete during this event is going to be the Pikachu fan medal. This requires you to catch 1,000 Pikachu. There's going to be Pikachu all over the place for a full week. You just have to complete it. The next tip you need to focus on here is going to be Stardust gains. We've literally had some incredible Stardust events, including GoFest Global, which just took place. But remember, it's going to be 2 times catch Stardust, and if you have the Deluxe Go Pass, it's going to be 3 times catch Stardust. Please pop a star piece for as long as you possibly can during playtime. The reason why is that every single Pikachu you catch with the Deluxe is going to be granting you 300 Stardust per catch. On a star piece, it's going to be 450 Stardust per catch. Guys, if you're playing for 2 to 3 hours at a time and you're reeling in big numbers of Pokemon, trust me, this is like a Stardust haven. Again, you really want to be taking advantage of this. Pop those star pieces to get more reward. As we know, with a lot of these costume Pikachu, especially a lot of the rare costume Pikachu, they are not able to evolve, but some of them are. Please remember, at the end of this week, we have Mega Raichu Raid Day, so those Megas could potentially have that costume on as well, which I think is very sick, but we're going to cover that in a little bit. Let's get back to the calendar again, and let's have a look at Tuesday. Of course, that Pikachu celebration event is going to be running the whole week, but on Tuesday specifically, you need to pay attention to Showcase Tuesdays. This affects Pikachu as well, because you can potentially get a rare costume Pikachu encounter, which is going to be that PhD Pikachu once you reach your platinum status on the showcase medal, which requires you to win 100 showcases. Remember as well, you can enter up to 5 different Pokemon in showcases, and if you win all of those, you can chip away at that medal, but you can also get some premium rewards such as some lucky eggs, incubators, and super incubators. Moving on to Wednesday the 15th. As you can see here, the main thing we need to worry about is going to be that Kyogre raid hour happening from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. Please remember as well, like it was for Max Monday, every single Kyogre you complete in person will reward you with a guaranteed rare XL candy. These hours can now appeal to more advanced players because of this rare XL candy bonus. Maybe those advanced players already have Hundo Kyogres fully powered up, so you're not really after the Pokemon, but you could be after the rare XL candy. On top of that though, we're just going to bring up Kyogre's base stats again. As you can see guys, even Kyogre in its base form without the primal is still the 7th best attacker in the game, so even if you didn't have enough energy over the GoFest weekend to get your primal, it's still going to serve you incredibly well. And you can also get candy for that Shadow Kyogre, which is incredibly powerful as well, making it the 3rd best water type attacker. Let's move on to Thursday the 16th. We have 2 things to worry about here. The first one is going to be GBL Thursdays. Remember guys, this wasn't happening last week, but it's going to be running for the rest of the season. GBL Thursdays allows you to complete 10 sets per day, which is 50 battles, but not only that, at 4 times Stardust rewards. If you have star pieces running alongside the Pikachu celebration event, you can see how this could work in tandem. The Stardust is a big gainer on that day, but the other thing that comes along is reward Pokemon. A lot of people don't talk about this, and we have said this in previous videos, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to send me some of those reward Pokemon you've got off the track. Please email them to us. We will feature them in future videos as we have done in the past. People have seen incredible Pokemon from this free reward track. But on Thursday, a lot of people are forgetting about one more thing that could really boost your XP gains as well as your Stardust gains. From 6 to 7 p.m. local time, Spotlight Hours have returned and Zubat will be in the Spotlight Hour. Before we touch on the bonus, let's touch on Zubat itself. It has a really pretty shiny, which is going to come with a 1 in 512 shiny chance. Zubat can evolve into Golbat. Golbat right now in the Gold Battle League isn't ranked so well in the main rankings. Its shadow form and its regular form are both sitting outside of the top 200. But trust me, get yourself a good GBL Golbat, because in the limited cups or in certain metas, especially with that Poison Fang bringing that debuff on certain Pokemon, it is very annoying to fight against, and you could whip it out at a certain time. And the bonus that's going to be taking place during that hour is going to be 2 times catch XP. Unfortunately, Zubat is not the easiest excellent throw. But there's another way you can maximize this, because remember, you're in the middle of that Pikachu celebration event, which means the 2x catch Stardust or 3x catch Stardust, if you do have the deluxe version, will be carrying through this. So you could potentially not even go for the XP, you could just go for the Stardust because it's going to be 3x catch. But if they are weather boosted in windy or cloudy weather because of its poison and flying typing, it gives you even more of a chance to get more Stardust at potentially over 500 Stardust per catch. Don't sleep on that, guys. That's Thursday out of the way. Let's get back to our calendar again. The big thing we need to worry about on Friday, yes, it is back this week, is going to be Friendship Fridays. And the bonuses have been carried over. They did release a blog post where everyone thought the bonuses had changed. They have actually got better. So every single trade is going to cost 20% less Stardust. You can get a guaranteed 2 XL candy every single trade. We can make up to 3 special trades on that day. But the big important thing you need to take note of right now and mark it in your calendar, every single one of these trades have a higher chance of going lucky. We can make a total of 100 trades per day in Pokemon Go. I want you to take all those shinies, backgrounds, and background shinies you got from GoFest and pick your top 3 and trade it with a friend, hopefully a best friend on that day as well, because trading with a best friend has a base floor of 555. But more importantly, you want to try and go for that lucky chance, because there's more chance of that shiny, legendary, special background Pokemon becoming lucky upon trade. Back to our calendar again, this week is honestly stacked, guys, because on Saturday, which is going to be the 18th, we have Mega Raichu X and Y making their Pokemon Go debut, and they've placed this perfectly right in the middle of this Pikachu celebration event for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, Mega Raichu X and Mega Raichu Y will be making their Pokemon Go's debut this weekend. There's going to be a free timed research for all trainers where we can get access to a premium battle pass, including an encounter with Steelix. The bonuses are going to be as normal on these raid days. The remote raid pass limit will be increased to 20 from Friday 17th at 5 p.m. PDT time all the way until Saturday 8 p.m. PDT time. We can receive up to 6 free raid passes per day. Raichu caught from these Super Mega Raids will be at least Mega Level 1. You can also buy a Mega Raichu X and Y Raid Day ticket for a total cost of $5. That's going to reward you an extra 14 raid passes when you spin gym discs. You're going to get an increased chance to get rare XL candy from these raid battles, an additional 5,000 XP from these Super Mega Raid battles, an additional 5,000 Stardust too for completing these Super Mega Raid battles. And please remember, just like it was for Mega Mewtwo X, Mega Mewtwo Y, or any other Super Mega Raid that's been available like Skarmory or Phalanx, please check that Pokemon Go map a couple days prior to the event. This is going to show you exactly where the Super Mega Raids are going to be spawning or potentially spawning. That is how you can plan with your community to take these things down, because remember, 1 shield in the Super Mega Raids equals 1 Mega Pokemon from 1 trainer. We're keeping those details pretty brief. We're going to release a completely separate video explaining Mega Raichu X and Mega Raichu Y on their own raid day, how good they are, should you even be raiding for them, in a separate video. Wait for that in the coming days. Moving on to the last day of the week, which is going to be Sunday the 19th, we have Scenic Sunday. This has definitely taken an improvement in recent weeks. The reason why is that there's going to be more Pokemon in the wild, including boosted incense spawns while on routes as well, including more Pokemon spawning on routes simultaneously. Of course, we can collect those Zygarde cells on those routes as well, but you can encounter Mateo up to 3 times per day. Once you exchange a gift with the Mateo, that will be coming from a different region. You could potentially get another Scatterbug encounter there, but also you will be able to get a 7-kilometer egg, which will hatch a certain Pokemon. These are going to be the Pokemon hatching from those 7-kilometer Mateo eggs. We can see Galarian Corsola, Galarian Slowpoke, Hisuian Sneasel, Hisuian Growlithe, as well as White Stripe Basculin. That is probably the top reward here. The reason why is that White Stripe Basculin actually has 2 evolution forms. It has a male form and a female form that actually become Water and Ghost, and both of them are very good in the VGC games, and that may carry over to Pokemon Go at some point. These Scenic Sundays are going to be very important this week, especially for that Pikachu celebration event. Pop your incenses, walk those routes, you're going to see a lot more Pikachu spawns, which means more rare shiny Pikachu costumes. If you guys are going to be raiding or have just raided Mega Mewtwo X and Y this weekend, you're going to watch this video above me, because we explain why maybe only 1 is worth raiding. More than that, on Tuesday night, we are going to be releasing our Mega Raichu X and Mega Raichu Y video. You're going to be wanting to check that out as well. Guys, we really appreciate your support. Please hit that like and subscribe button again, but most importantly, that hype button so we can send this video as far as wide as possible. Really appreciate your support. We stacked this video, the numbers are growing, and we can only do it with you guys. Love you, go with us, catch you in the next one, baby. Shh. Is that Raichu?